Welcome back to another episode of Saving Grace. Before I introduce today's guests, I just want to remind you that tickets for the Saving Grace Jungle Fever Tour are out now. I'm taking on Edinburgh, Newcastle, Liverpool, Derby, York, wherever you can spell, I'm there. So get your tickets now, otherwise you're going to have a very depressing September. God bless. Let's get into it. Now, for this week's guest, we've got another Grace that needs to be saved. We've got podcaster, author, comedian, Grace Campbell, everyone. Woo! Did you enjoy that?
I loved that.
Thank you. Yeah, I wanted to like boost a little bit.
I know. This is my first day back.
First things, is it?
Not well, yeah, kind of. It
day
is,
back
yeah.
for you.
It kind of is. Yeah, it's the first like podcast. I've
Actually,
done
no, this is my first proper day back as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
I fucking hate being back at work. I just think you know that bit in between Christmas and New Year where you're doing sweet fuck all? I love that shit. You don't know what day it is.
I get really restless when I'm not doing anything.
Really?
So I always end up working.
Actually, I say that though, and I become like
get
a
really
horrible
like,
bitch.
I'm a loser. Why am I not doing anything?
My bills aren't going to be paid this month. I don't know what to do.
And then I just start like, I don't know, manically making to-do lists.
You like a list?
I love a list.
Do you colour code?
No, but I write in like manually. I'm like,
I've
got loads of notebooks all over my house, and
Full
I
of
just write
lists.
full of lists.
I bought Mrs. Hinch's list book, and I used it for a week.
Oh, really?
And then I just thought, I can't because I don't tick anything off.
But it's so satisfying, Grace.
When you do
tick stuff off, it's so. And also, what I'll do is go for a run,
right?
And then I can tick it off. The satisfaction of going, I've done that.
Like, put washing machine on. Because it's such a small
Take
task.
the wash out.
Yeah, done. Didn't hang it up, but I still did that.
It's a nice feeling.
Tick. Now, we have a guest on today as well. Noodle
Can't believe it.
You've got a dog too.
I've got a baby girl, Eddie.
Baby girl, Eddie.
Gave birth to her myself.
Did you?
Yeah,
that must have been a big one for you. Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah.
I hear you. Hairy business, that. Do you have any tips of being a dog mum?
I've got so many.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, so, well, I mean, I think the only mistake, one of the many mistakes I've made with Eddie is she knows that like she can just rule my whole life and my heart.
Yeah.
And so she's well behaved socially, but like at home she's obsessed with balls and barks at me like all evening if we're not playing with a ball. She's too used to like us sleeping in a bed together. So when there is someone else there, like say if I'm dating someone or doing penetration.
Yeah, of course.
She's very possessive.
Can I just say, this dog has affected my sex life.
But that's what happens.
To a horrific extent.
Yeah.
And it feels like they're like, put him out the room, then he's crying.
I love that you said her.
Yeah,
you put your girlfriend now. Like.
Ella sat outside the door naked, like, right. But like, then he cries, so now I'm like, well, maybe we have him in the room, but then it feels morally wrong because, you know,
it does feel morally wrong.
It's also lesbian sex. It feels more in like
it's just wrong to have a dog there. I had a bit in my last show which I was touring, and because the show was in part about like getting a dog and like what happened after that, and I would ask people in the audience, like couples who have dogs, I'd say like, do you have sex in front of the dogs?
Yeah.
And most of them would be like, yeah, but like only because the dog will cry.
Yeah.
And it's so unsexy hearing a dog cry outside.
I hear that. But then it feels morally, it feels like an arrestable offence.
Yeah, it does. It's fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've basically now been retraining her to being used to being in our flat in the other room with me not there, because like that's the part is if she knows I'm in the house, she's like, why aren't we hanging out?
Yeah, of course.
So I'm retraining her for that. But then to be honest, like I said to you, like with Eddie, I just take her everywhere. So now she's just like chill. Yeah. That's what will happen with him.
This is what I think is going to happen because he does go everywhere, even to the toilet. And do you know what? He's got a weird obsession with my pants.
Oh, but all dogs do.
Really?
Yeah, that's like a thing.
It makes me really uncomfortable. I woke up this morning, my pants were in his bed, and I was like,
yeah, dogs like women's knickers.
Yeah, well, you're a fucking
little
perv.
dog.
Yeah, you're a dirty perv. This is just men though, isn't it? Like, no, even in dogs.
Female dogs, like my dog loves.
Really?
Yeah, dogs love the smell of like
of purse,
of pussy. They do.
That's being clipped. Dogs love the smell of pussy. Also, another thing, I've met your dad.
I know, yeah, because he came on your show. Yeah.
Bless that man.
I know, he was so funny. I was like, oh my God, I love her. I can't believe you've met her before I've met her, you freak.
He walked in and he went, I don't really know you, but my daughter does. And I was like, yeah, I love your daughter. And he was like, so like, well, I think I've tried to listen to some of your pods. And I was like, sorry about that. He is so funny. And he took everything I was saying.
Savage.
Yeah, but he took everything.
Yeah.
Like, I was like the stupidest bitch ever. Like I did a politics podcast and to be honest with you, scraped the barrel with knowledge. And
yeah, but I think it's great that you did that. I thought that was great. Yeah.
I really was going for it.
It was great. But also like you should have done that because it's like loads of people who will be listening to you will have then crossed over to that podcast and it will have like
and now they listen
so many people.
to The Rest is Politics.
Exactly.
And he's got a whole new demographic.
Yeah, I know. I was on the train coming back from Scotland yesterday, 2 days ago. I was walking to the cafe. I saw 3 people listening to my dad's podcast.
Really?
Yeah.
No, his podcast is
crazy.
fucking huge.
I know.
It's insane.
Well, you did Wembley. How was that?
That was a lot because you can relate to it. Because you did the Apollo, the Hammersmith, is it Hammersmith Apollo?
Hammersmith Apollo.
Huge,
that's not as big.
No, but one thing that I think you can relate to here is the bigger the venue, the more you can't hear people.
No, it's mad.
So I came out and I was like, oh, I've fallen off. No one's cheering. But it was just the fact that it was so big.
Did you have, because basically, right, so before I went on stage at the Apollo, I was really calm for the first time in my whole life. I was just like, this is where I'm meant to be. I knew the show so well. I'd been touring it for like 2 months by this point. So I was like, for once in my life, not shouting at everyone.
Yeah.
And I was at the back of the stage because I was making this big entrance. And so the music stopped. Then I could hear this sound. And it sounded like, you know, when you're like, I don't know, like on a beach somewhere really exotic and you hear like wild animals. And I was like, I said to the guy with me, the producer, I was like, what is that sound? It's really weird. And he was like, that's the people. And I was like, no, that can't be the people because they're making the sound of that like many people. It didn't sound like humans. It was really scary.
It's awful.
It's weird.
Awful. Yeah.
So how did you feel when you were going out there?
No, horror. Because I just got off the plane from Australia. I was jet lagged. It was so stressful. And I went out and thought, I've been living with 12 people and now there's like 5,000 people in front of me. This is actually quite a lot. But I did enjoy it when I got out there. But there's no feeling like, I'm glad you're like me. I'm a bitch backstage. If you want something from me, don't. Do you know what? Like, I will just be like, please leave me alone. There was one point where I went, all of you need to shut the fuck up. And I pulled the curtain. And I just sat there.
But I just say no one's allowed in my dressing room.
I've learnt that now.
Yeah. That's what you do get better at that. Because like, I remember when I do show, I remember I did Ali Pali in my last tour. And all of my friends were so excited. So they'd like come to my dressing room bit. And I was like, guys, like, this is so fun for you. It's actually not fun for me. Like, I'm trying to get in the zone. You're all drinking my champagne that's in the fridge. Like, I'm saving that for after the show.
And there's none left.
Off. Yeah. So at the Apollo, I had such strict rules of like who was allowed in the dressing room.
Which is good. That's such a good idea.
Yeah.
How do you feel your tour went? Because you've just basically come off it.
Yeah, it was good. It was really good. It was long. How many dates are you doing?
Well, I usually do a month.
It was long, but then I got to finish the tour. So I did the Apollo and then I went to Europe. So I went to Amsterdam, Paris and Berlin. And that was like having a holiday and just doing the show. But I just went on such a big bender in like Paris and Berlin.
Are the audience, do you worry about different audiences in different countries?
They were mainly, well, in Amsterdam, they were just, everyone in Amsterdam speaks a better English than like we do.
Fair. Yeah.
And then in Paris, they were mainly English. And then Berlin, they were, again, like they spoke better English than us.
Also,
but it was different. It was different because it's like loads of my, I remember when I was in Amsterdam, I hadn't really thought about changing the show. And I had this joke about Tommy Shelby in the show. It's a really fast bit where I speak really fast and I have this line about Tommy Shelby. And on the spot, I was like, I just don't know if they're going to watch Peaky Blinders like we do. So really quickly just changed the reference like in my head. There were a few parts of the show.
I've just done it. Accepted the no laugh and just been like, well, fine.
Yeah, but it was so fun. And then I just ended up in Paris and Berlin. I just like let my hair down, got with loads of people. And
did you?
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, it was fun.
Did you speak to any of them again?
Yeah, one of them. Actually, one of them is like absolutely harassing me now. But this is why I just don't get with people anymore because I just don't like them then having my number.
Yeah, and obsessed.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no one did that to me because I think that's because I'm too lazy in any sense of that word. Like it's the worst night of their life. So they probably block it out and block me. Awful. But I love that. What country would you say has the best men?
I really love men in Paris.
Everyone says this.
Yeah.
Is it the accent?
Yeah, I think I do like French men, to be honest.
Yeah.
Oui, oui.
Oui, oui.
Yeah.
It doesn't have the same ring when I'm doing it. Oui.
But I think, I like French men. There were loads of hot men in Paris when I went.
Really?
Yeah, so, it's good for the tourism board.
Do you get the blues when you come off tour, or are you like, thank fuck that's over with?
I got really sad after the Apollo because I was like, oh my God, nothing like that's ever going to happen again.
Yeah. It's always positive thinking. Yeah,
but like you feel, it's like that crazy. I mean, for you, it must have been crazy because especially coming back from Australia, you would already be on like an adrenaline, like come down.
Yeah.
Then you do that. And then it's like, it's so much emotional.
Do you get like because I feel like in this industry, it's like, I've just done the most amazing thing ever, probably will fall off next year. Do you ever think that, or are you always like, no, I'll power through?
So I feel like after the Apollo, I felt really like, wow, my stand-up's finally gotten to this point, which is like, I'm really good and I know I'm really good. And I've worked so hard over the last 8 years to become really good, like a really good joke writer and whatever. And after that, I was like, okay, this is good. Like next move, I'm going to do like, I don't know, I really want to do the Royal Albert Hall, for example. That's one of my goals for this year. But then I was like, do you know what? If I never do, that was epic. Yeah. Like that as a memory.
That is a good
will live with me
mindset to
forever.
have. Yeah.
And I'm so ambitious and I know these other things will happen, but I don't think anything like that will ever happen again because it was the first time. It was the first moment where I was like, oh, I've got this.
Yeah.
So that's like, that will never happen again because I think now I'll always feel that, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I think you start to take these things for granted, whereas that I just won't. It was just like a really special moment.
That's really nice though. And I feel like I could see you do I want you telly.
Yeah.
So much more TV shit.
Yeah.
I see you panelist vibes. 8 out of 10 cats does countdown.
Yeah, I know. I feel like, definitely. What I really want to start doing now is making like TV, like making scripts. Like, I write
is that
a lot.
What you want to go into? Yeah,
I'm working on 2 scripts at the moment, and I really I love films and I love TV, and that's kind of why I originally started doing stand up because I really want to be a writer and direct. So that's one of my goals for this year.
Are you talking like comedy?
Yeah,
yeah,
like dark comedy.
Thank God.
You'd love one of the things I'm writing at the moment. Like you would absolutely love it.
Anything dark comedy. I will eat that shit up.
Yeah, you'd love it. It's like for the girls and the gays, basically.
If it gets put on telly, can I be like a background?
Absolutely. You could have like a cameo where you
know, like the waitress.
Yeah. No, you could play yourself. You'd actually be epic in this script that I'm writing. You could play yourself.
Add me in.
Okay.
Add me in.
No, I'll tell you about the idea after.
This is what I need to do. I need to broaden.
Would you act?
Well, yeah. I just recently. I did. There's this thing on Netflix, right, called Missing You. Yeah, they were like, "Can you come in and like act in it?" So I was like, "Finally, like my debut." And they were like,
"What was it?
You're gonna fucking die," right? So it's like a really serious like crime series. Harlan Coben, he comes up to me and he goes, "Can you do like a bit of acting in this series? I did Formula," and I thought, yeah, like of course. So I turn up and he's like, "So we want you to be like under the covers in like a bed," and I was like, right. And he was like, "Can you be like sensual?" And I don't know if you can tell by looking at me.
Sorry, had you been told what you were going to do before?
I'd been told that I was going to be a foot cam girl called Vanessa.
Right, okay. Right?
And I thought, that's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
And very on brand.
Yeah.
I do have bunions, but I make it that.
Yeah, but loads of people love bunions as well. That's a huge part of the foot industry.
So anyway, I get there and he's like, "Can you just be sensual?" And I'm like, under the like covers and like doing like, and I'm creaming up my feet. And then it gets aired and everyone's like, "Was that you called Twinkle Toes, Vanessa, creaming up your feet or Missing You?" And I was like, yeah. So that's as far as my
acting. Did you post about it?
I did. Yeah, I did. But because so many people were messaging me like, "Are you playing
that?"
That
is really funny because also it's like, it's such a in passing thing that someone may not like.
So random. Yeah, and it was just me like swaying my hair under a duvet.
Can I ask, why did Harlan Coben want you to do that? Did you ever find out?
We were on Zoom and he was like, "You know, I just want to get you involved in it. Like, I just think that it would be like, we're going to write in a character." And I was like, "Yeah, fuck it." And he was like, "Foot cam girl?" And I thought, yeah, I looked at my girlfriend like, "Are you all right with this?" And she was like, "Yeah." So I was like, "Absolutely." That's as far. So
okay, great.
If you've got like a foot cam girl, like role.
No, I want you to play yourself.
Thank God. Yeah. That's all I can probably do, to be honest.
No, I don't think so. I reckon you'll have a range, but like I I love when there's like really good cameos and stuff. It's like
because it's so fucking random as well. Like when random people are in different things, you're like, what are you doing?
I know, I love it.
Do you know what I'd love to see you on actually, Celeb Traitors?
I think I'd be we were talking about this when me and my friends were away over New Year's. I think I'd be so good at it because I'm really good at lying.
Are you? Mm-hmm. See, I look like I'm lying even when I'm not.
Yeah.
So I just.
But then maybe that's a really good like double. What's it called? Like double bluff. Yeah.
Would you be that person that's hysterically crying though from stress or not?
No, and that annoys me so much when I'm watching the trailers. I'm like, shut the fuck up. Why are you crying this much?
I'm sorry. Like,
no, it was stressing me out so much.
I was like, she's gonna have a fucking heart attack.
Yeah,
she needs to be voted off.
But do you think they're doing something to them that's making them? It's like because the way that they get so emotional during those whatever the fuck
actually
they're called.
fucking dying as well.
I know.
Like, you all need to fucking.
I know.
Relax.
It's mad. It's like life or death.
I think maybe they give them edibles before they go on the round table.
It's like something's in the air, like THC. There's THC vaporizer in the air. Yeah,
tits, like I'm having a really
they're all
bad
really
high.
paranoid.
But that's what it is. But I think you'd be a great traitor, and I think the cloak would look cool.
Yeah, I would love to do that. I would absolutely love to do. Do they do celebrity traitors?
Yeah, they do.
They do it in America. Yeah,
they've got to bring.
They don't do it here though, do they?
They have to.
Well, let's manifest that.
No, we must.
Yeah. We could go on it together.
I'd be voted out the first week. Vote first week.
I don't know though, because I think it's when you watch it, I'm like almost like it's kind of a fluke in some ways because it's like such mob mentality. People decide that this person is a traitor, and then it's like you bad luck.
Can I just say though, if one person just went, "You're a bit sus," like you're a traitor, I'd be like, "Yeah, I actually was thinking the same thing." I would do the exact same thing. They just give me one thing and I'd be like, fuck it.
But right. I love it when they go, I think it's Karen because I haven't spoken to her much. It's like, that's not really like enough reason to think someone's a traitor. No, there was spoken to her
last year and it was fucking gold. It was like, I think it's you because when we raised the glass, you raised it with your left hand and not your right hand. And the woman was like, I literally don't have a right hand. And I was like, so fair. So fair.
Oh my God, that's such an epic comeback.
Yeah, and that would be me. I'd be like, sorry, my bad, I was clutching at straws. Talking of New Year's as well.
Yeah.
You just said that you did some swimming. Tell me about your New Year's and we're going to get into this. All right?
Okay, so I love swimming in cold water.
Right.
Because I'm a freak.
And when we say cold water, are we talking like sea?
So I was in a loch, which is lake in Scottish.
Loch Ness.
Yeah, I was near Loch Ness.
Yeah, Lake Ness.
I was in Loch Linney.
And that has a ring to it.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
That, yeah.
I know, yeah. That's like a good name for a TV show.
Loch Linney.
Yeah. And it was pretty cold, but like, so where we were on the New Year's Day, all of the locals like run into the loch together and it's like really fun. And me and my friend were so competitive, so we were like, we have to stay in like longer than anyone.
You're the last ones in there with
anyone else. Yeah, we're literally like, I will die. Me and my best friend once got hypothermia just purely because we wanted to beat. We went to a Lido in London and we just bumped into this girl and she was like, oh, I did 12 lengths actually. She left, so she wasn't even there to see that we did more lengths than her. We were like, we have to do more lengths than her. And then we got such severe hypothermia.
Really?
Yeah, it was awful.
Did you have to go to
really
hospital?
Scary. So basically there are 3 stages of hypothermia. Stage 1 is you shivering, like really convulsing, but like you could just be cold. Stage 2 is brain fog. So we were like Googling like hypothermia because we were like, we're really bugging out. Stage 2 is brain fog. So you sort of like don't really know like what's going on, where you are, like what, like time sort of moves really weird and slow. And then stage 3 is death. So we were like reading the 3 symptoms and it was like stage 1 shivering, stage 2 brain fog. We've like got that. Stage 3 death. We were like, oh my God. So we called our friend's mum who's a doctor and she was like, no, just drink loads of warm drinks. And we survived. I'm a hypothermia survivor.
But do you enjoy the feeling of cold water?
It is honestly, like, are you an anxious person?
The two, right?
Yeah. So it's like, for me, I was having a really bad day one day in Scotland, just emotional, and then realised that I was coming on my period.
Oh, me.
And then I got in and then I got out and nothing mattered.
Is it because
like everything goes?
My mindset to that is, right, is it good for the mental health, or have you just experienced the worst feeling ever and nothing can be as bad as that when you come back out?
I think it's exactly that. It's like because you're in it's not like pain, but like you can't actually think about anything when you're swimming in really cold water because all you're doing is thinking about like how your body feels.
Yeah.
So it's like for a minute or even like, 7 or 8 if you're me and Anna.
We're 12 laps.
Yeah.
12 laps.
You're present. It's like meditation. And then you get out and I'm like, nothing really matters.
Yeah.
Like nothing actually matters.
Apart from pneumonia.
Apart from hypothermia.
Oh,
yeah.
hypothermia. Sorry.
And pneumonia, because it also can happen.
Maybe I might try that.
I think you should try it, but you said you hated the cold showers in the jungle.
Do you know what? One thing about me, right? And I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's genetic. When I feel cold, I get pissed off. Like I get angry. You know when you are brushing your hair and there's a knot and it hurts and you're like fucking beating the shit out of your hairbrush and then you're like, was it that deep actually? I get that with cold water.
Yeah, but so do I.
Do you?
Yeah, I get really cold in my bones. Then I'm like if I'm really cold, like say if in winter when you go to a pub and then you're sitting outside because everyone's smoking, and then I'm like, I actually have to leave. Like I'm too cold. I can't handle this, and I can't speak. But it's a different feeling.
And do you get warm easy when you get out? That's my only thing.
No, you get out and you're like so cold, and then there's this really like horrible bit where you're sort of, you can't really feel anything, like not your fingers or anything, and you're trying to get your swimming costume off, but you can't actually feel it. So you're just like there, like trying to get your clothes off.
Okay.
And everybody's watching you. Because it's like you're by a lock. Like, there's no changing rooms.
Do you know what? I'm going to fucking try it.
I think you should try it.
I'm going to start at home tonight with a bath.
Yeah, do a cold bath.
I'm going to send you a pic, not in a weird way.
Do a cold bath.
Yeah.
But you know, it adds years to your life expectancy. So it makes up for all the ferocious vaping that I'm doing.
I don't know if I want that. Take me at 30.
How old are you?
25.
Fucking hell.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Although I get told I look 30 a lot, which isn't an insult, but I'm not 30.
Yeah.
You hear me?
I'm 30.
Are you?
Yeah.
Yeah, the cold water's fucking working.
Do you think?
Yeah.
I think I look really old. Someone once turned to me when I was on mushrooms, and he was also on mushrooms, and he turned to me and he was like, the thing about you, Grace, is you could be 6 and you could be 64.
Wow. I would have sobered up so
I
quick.
think it's true, though. I think I have the energy of both a child and an old woman, and then my own age.
I think you sound like you have wisdom.
Love that.
If that makes sense.
Love
but you
that.
don't look old. So
well, I did just have Botox.
Did you?
Yeah.
I haven't ventured into Botox.
Well, you don't need it. You're 25.
No, everyone goes preventative, but...
I just did it for a bit of fun, but it's now
asked.
like I'm frowning.
Yeah, see, I can't tell if you're angry or happy, but I like it. Because you look approachable at all times.
You look...
The only bit I'm getting is the squid. There's nothing.
No, there's nothing. I know.
That's incredible.
It's crazy. I'm trying to frown. I can't frown.
Like you're taking like
crazy.
Like a shit.
Yeah.
But like not... I'm enjoying it.
I know.
Oh,
and
you
then
sold it to me. I mean, if you ever got disastrous news, they'd be like, you're a psychopath.
It's like that bit in Cinderella
reaction.
story. Do you remember when Jennifer Coolidge has just had like loads of Botox, and she's like, they're like, Mom, you look really happy. Why are you happy? We should be sad. She's like, she's like, shut up.
I love that bit.
I love that film.
Do you have any New Year's resolutions for this year, or are you not into New Year's resolutions?
I'm not really into resolutions, but I really want to get better at replying to emails and messages because during my tour it's gotten out of control.
Yeah,
and I'm still having to pick up. I'm still having to.
Can I say something? Get a PA.
I know.
Because let me tell you something. I don't fucking reply to shit, yeah? And I fucking love it. I don't know why.
That's heaven.
That's
rude. All I want.
And I mentally reply, and I'll reply a few days later.
Or you don't.
Or I don't.
Yeah.
And it's exciting being friends with me, because am I going to reply or am I fucking not?
That's what I think it's like being friends with me as well.
Yeah, and I like that. I think that's a bit of fun.
Yeah.
So
the thing is, I reply to like core people.
Yeah.
Like, I would never not reply to like the people who I need to reply to.
Yeah, of course.
But also emails, like I never check them.
I don't even know what an email is.
No, I've never.
That's how much I don't check that shit. God forbid.
There's something so old about it.
You're sincerely, like I wouldn't even know what to put at the end of an email. No,
it feels very old.
I'd do like a kind regard.
But my other thing was I had a parking ticket from July.
Oh, vicious.
And I kept saying, I need to pay it. And I kept going on my to-do list, pay a parking ticket, pay a parking ticket. And then yesterday I was watching something and a man got arrested for not paying a parking ticket. So I was like, fuck, I need to pay for that parking ticket. And that's my other resolution.
Great for next stand-up though.
Yeah.
I got arrested.
That's so true.
Sometimes I think when things happen to you, do you go like, that was shit, but will be great for when I do stand-up?
Yeah, it's like, I think first, oh my God, I can't wait to tell my friends that this happened.
Yeah,
and then I think second, this is going to be an amazing bit.
I always
and it can
do
be
that.
so traumatic.
But you're like, well,
this will be an amazing show.
I think that's a good thing. When you're like a comedian, you can turn anything horrific into a really good fucking story.
And also it's so like the feeling, I can't imagine just something bad happening to me and then just having to deal with it and not be able to like make money out of it. Like that's such a nice feeling.
You're like the rent's
it's
paid
like
next month.
Whereas you know if you don't have that, it just happens. That's it.
And then you have to process it.
Then you have to process it.
No, we're not doing that.
No, I just want to talk about it.
Yeah. I want to laugh at myself.
Yeah, it's a nice feeling.
Relationship wise, obviously you've got some men in your lines.
Yeah.
How's it going? You're single. Are you enjoying being single? What's the vibe?
I'm loving being single. Right. Absolutely. But there's this thing like where it's like, I don't know if I said this when we were recording, but it's so like dating people and then just opening myself up to them maybe being crazy or then like having to have like a conversation where like, you know, it's so long.
Yeah.
So
completely fair.
I'm doing penetration. I'm loving that. That's fun. I'm trying to not.
That is a bit.
I'm trying to be really like at the moment selective of like not. I don't want to invite any chaos into my life basically. And
have you done like monogamy?
I've done monogamy.
Is that a bit of you?
Yeah, I am monogamous, but I feel like whenever I've been in a serious relationship, it gets in the way of everything. But I think that's also on me. I have an issue where I let relationships completely consume me.
Yeah.
To the extent that like I will let other things fall because of it.
Yeah.
And now that I'm so not in that place, I just want to like make sure that when I do eventually meet someone and I think, yeah, you can sleep in my bed.
With the dog.
Yeah. As long as you're nice to the dog. As long as you know that the dog gets the pillow.
Of course, yeah.
Your head is at the other end of the bed.
Feet next to me.
Your feet is next to me.
Absolutely.
And the dog. And I want to know for sure that those things aren't going to happen again. Because I've had like a couple like relationships which were good for a period, but then like really went quite west. And then I go west.
And then it all goes west.
And then it all goes west.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But do you not get jealous? Like, I don't think I could do it because if I had to be like, right, I like you and I'll see someone else, but I wouldn't want them to go with anyone else.
Well, I did this amazing exercise last year where I dated someone for a while who was in an open relationship.
Right.
So like he had a girlfriend, but they were like both like poly or whatever. And what that was good for, it was for about like 5 months, was that it helped with my jealousy issues because I'm quite historically a jealous person.
Amen.
But that process where I was like, oh, we would like see each other, we'd go on like really nice dates, it was fun and we liked each other, but I was like, there's never going to be that next level.
Yeah, because there can't
be. And so then it made that, and then he broke up with her and I was like,
well,
there's the door. That was never the agreement. This was never the agreement.
Do you use like sites like Hinge? Is it Ray or Raya?
Not really. I find dating apps, I used to use them loads and then I now find them like, I think I'm just quite bored of it all. Well, so I love meeting people out. This is what I loved when I was on tour, was I would go places and I'm like, I don't know anyone here. So I'm just going to like talk to random people and like, I love meeting people out. I love talking to people. I love flirting with strangers.
Of course.
So fun.
Yeah.
So obviously. But what I don't love is like being on Hinge and some man who's like, a one messaging me and then me being really upset for the rest of the day that this man like thought we were going to go on a date.
Sometimes I feel like I wish I had that confidence of those people. You know what I mean?
I know.
To like assume. Like I feel like my girlfriend is a 10 and I don't know how I got that, but I wouldn't have shot my shot first because I'm very self-aware. When you shoot your shot first to someone who's a lot higher than you, I don't know whether that should be applauded or...
I think it should be applauded because if you don't ask, you don't get. And sometimes it pays off. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like, so
sometimes it offends us.
And so I feel like I have... what's the past tense of shoot my shot? Shot my shot?
You shot the shot.
I've shot the shot.
Yeah,
I feel like I've taken shots before and it has paid off.
Taken the shot.
And then sometimes it doesn't. And then I want to kill myself.
Well, go on. That's it though, the rejection. I can't handle it.
I can't handle it.
It's like the throw the phone.
Yeah.
Across the...
I just can't. Like, I'm like, I have to quit my job and I have to move.
But it's like a sext. I can't sext.
Oh, really?
Oh my fucking God. Like, I'm like sweating thinking about it.
That's like you on the foot cam.
It was like, me like, whoa, let me see your tits. Like, I just can't do that.
There's something so funny about sexting though. Like, it's like when people take it really seriously, I'm like,
or like phone sex to me is wild. Like, you're on FaceTime. How is...
Yeah.
And the waves can't be good. If you're putting your phone near your pussy, that can't be good.
Yeah, that is true.
Waves.
Yeah, well, I mean, I sleep with my phone like next to my face.
Me too. I don't know what the fuck I'm complaining.
I'm more worried about my brain than my vagina.
Me, the brain's fine. The pussy's where I draw the line.
Yeah. No, I mean, I love all of that stuff.
Really?
Yeah. I remember I once did phone sex. I had a boyfriend and I was in LA and I did phone sex with him like in a very public place.
You're joking? As in, were you speaking?
I was in the car here thinking like, don't say anything. Don't say
I mean, you said it on the right fucking thing. I've said all my shit on here.
But yeah, no, I was like in the middle of two cars on the street.
Oh my God. I just wouldn't know what to say.
But I was more like encouraging him and like showing him my tits. I wasn't like fingering myself. I just have to make that clear.
Thank God.
But I was showing him my tits and like, you know, like I was getting him to
I'm
completion.
just not a dirty talker. I could never sit there and go, get that fucking pussy out, mate. Like, I couldn't. I wouldn't even call her like a slut or something.
Yeah.
I would just call her name. Respectful,
That's
yeah,
so
me.
respectful,
You know, what can you do?
I'm going to call her by her government name.
Me, thank you, Ella
Given to her
Rutherford.
at birth.
I'm someone that would say thank you after. Thank you for your time. Thank
That's
you
so
much.
polite.
Yeah.
That's
Maybe
so
that will be
polite.
my New Year's resolution.
I got with a guy recently and he was so annoying and basically like didn't want me to come, and he kept being like no, whenever I was like about to come he'd be like no, I don't want you to come, and eventually I was like, I'm gonna fucking come, okay? Because I barely know you, I don't know if I'm ever gonna see you again, and you're ruining like the moment right before I'm about
Is he
to
trying
come.
to do like an edge
Yeah,
vibe?
exactly.
Right.
But I was like, do you know what? Orgasms are few and far between.
Of course.
And so don't deprive me of one in this moment. I don't even know your fucking name.
Yeah, that's where you should have slapped him in his face and said no.
Yeah, I did. I did. I basically, and
Well,
then he got angry. He was like, "Oh, I wanted us to like come at the same time." I'm like, "Come at the same time? We just
I
met.
just got
Like
the
this is
ick.
not a
I
fucking
physically just got
like
the ick.
romantic novel.
It's like a rom-com.
It's 6 a.m.
I've been drinking since 2.
I literally had.
Yeah,
I'd
cool.
been
I
at
knew
Aber
straight
Voyage.
away.
Yeah.
Did you meet him at Aber
No.
Voyage?
I went to Aber Voyage with my girls, like for Christmas. Then we went out like to loads of different places, and I eventually met this rando man.
I was going to say, I feel like Aber Voyage is like a bit of a road.
Have you
place
been?
No, I
Oh my
still
god,
haven't
it's
gone.
so good.
Is it?
So good.
I do need to go.
Do you like ABBA?
I do.
Oh my god, you have to go.
No, I know, but it kind of freaks me out because I think I'd get that level of drunk that I'd think they're real.
But you do. We were really drunk, and they look real.
Okay, I'm going to do it.
But like you can just, they are real.
Have you ever had like a weird sexual encounter?
Have I ever had a weird sexual encounter? Yes. I mean, what? I've had loads, to be honest. But I've just had. I mean, in my 20s now. I'm 30. I'm like post that, but I used to have just so much sex. I honestly used to have sex just all the time.
Really?
Yeah, and I used
that for
to
you,
have sex
though.
with like so many different people. But now I'm just like haven't got the energy, and like I said, I just don't want someone in my bed.
Well, yeah. Do you kick them out afterwards?
Yeah.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
And also
completely
I
fair.
hate going to people's houses.
Oh no, safety risk.
Awful.
Yeah.
But weirdest sexual encounter, I once, when I was much younger, when Theresa May was the Prime Minister, I used to do this character on Instagram where I would like
don't know
play
where the
Theresa
stories
May
go,
and I would
okay.
do like a sexy Theresa May. And I remember, this is so long ago, it's like whenever she was Prime Minister, like 2015 or something.
Play.
Anyway, I brought this guy home and he asked me to put the Theresa May wig on.
You're fucking
And I was
joking.
like, I'm not doing that. And then obviously eventually I was like, well, I'll do it. Because then I'll get to tell the story. So I did it. Yeah, I did it. But I was like, I'm
everything?
not doing the voice. I'm not doing the voice.
No,
like,
you should have done.
No.
You should have done.
Maybe I did. I can't remember. But I remember like it was not good sex. I remember that.
I mean,
like,
for him to have to ask you to put the wig on, I would say,
and then still like expect to have a boner.
Yeah, what did he?
He did, but I think I can't remember. I might be confusing him with someone else.
I'm gonna move on to your podcast. So, your podcast, Late to the Party.
Which you're coming on.
Literally, I'm fucking coming on. I had to cancel it before I went into
no, you're coming on. I think it's this month.
I was having a breakdown. But
Were you?
before going in, I was like, ha, ha.
Were you?
Yes. So I did have to cancel that, but I am coming on.
Yeah.
I'm actually very fucking excited.
Yeah, because I think you'd be a great guest.
I can't fucking wait. And you've had some iconic people on there.
Yeah,
too.
I have. Got some really iconic people this month as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Can we have like a teaser of just one?
I'll tell you after. Yeah.
Exciting.
But because I listened to your episode with Alan Carr.
Come on.
Who I had this like really fun night with in December. We done this show at the Royal Albert Hall and me and him got so drunk together.
Of course.
He is just the best person in the world.
Exactly the same.
He's exactly the same.
100%.
No, I know. He's just amazing.
He is.
I loved that episode. I was really laughing listening to it.
Oh, well.
He's such a vibe.
You do.
Yeah.
But your pod, how long have you been doing your pod now?
A few months. Yeah, I've been doing it for like 6 months.
Are you enjoying it?
I love it. Yeah.
I feel like podcasts are a bit of fun.
I love it because it's just fun. It's like,
Yeah.
it's fun. Like just talking to people.
and you
so
get to talk to people you'd never normally speak to.
Exactly.
As an excuse, be like, it's for the pod.
And also I've made friends with loads of people through the podcast.
Have
Like
you?
people who I like idolize and then have become friends with.
Too fucking
Because I would just grab them up like a leech.
Yeah, 100%.
Just love bomb them so hard during the
That they
episode that afterwards
have
they
to
think
be
like,
friends with
wow,
you.
oh my God, I feel like we've just done so much therapy.
Yeah, you love
Yeah.
part. Well, your whole thing is you have to design dream party.
Yeah, I love talking
Do
about
you love
parties.
going out still, or are you off that vibe?
I do. I love going to a good party. Like 100%.
you?
I love going to a good party. And I love like a good party. I don't like being stuck somewhere that I don't want to be.
Right.
So in that way I am like antisocial where like if there's someone at a party who I like remotely don't really like the vibe of,
That you gotta go, yeah.
I gotta go. Like
hear
I get
you.
really spiky and allergic. Like I have allergies to people.
Bitches.
Yeah.
I'm allergic to bitches. It's like a Tumblr
I'm like,
quote.
no antihistamine is gonna like bring the rash down.
Well, of
that you
course.
bring out in me.
Yeah.
And so that, but I love I love a really good night, and like I have such a fun group of my best friends from school. I love going out with them, and so I like talking about parties because I love talking about like. I've changed so much. I used to be really mad and like go out a lot and like take drugs. I actually don't take drugs anymore, lol. But when I was younger, I was really crazy. So I love talking to people about like how they've calmed down as they've gotten older, or like ways that they've maybe stopped being so mental.
Yeah, I feel like it just comes with. Sometimes you just get bored of it.
Yeah.
I mean, I love a pub though. Do not.
I
get me
love a pub.
Fucking wrong.
Yeah.
Pubs are where it's at.
Yeah.
I love a pub.
I love a cozy pub.
You wouldn't
and
find me
some
in a
red
club
wine.
though.
No. I haven't been to a club for a long time.
Since uni, I'd say.
Yeah.
No way.
But then I love like a party. Like I'd say if it's like a really good birthday party or a really good wedding.
Yeah.
Or like a really good, like say if it was like a work party, but like it's one where like people are going to get a bit wild, which doesn't really happen that much and probably it shouldn't. I love stuff like that.
Have you been to a sex party?
Yeah, I have, but I hated it.
Oh, you didn't like it?
No.
Why?
Have you been to one?
No, again.
Yeah.
I can't dirty talks. What am I going to do?
But I became like so frigid. I've never felt more frigid in my whole life.
What? Okay, tell me the age demographic of the people
There was,
here.
not to be rude, but like too many old people.
Yeah, I hear you.
And it felt like, you know, when you're young and you go to a party and everybody wants to like snog loads of boys and it all feels a bit desperate, but like it's fine because you're young. It's like that, but like for adults. So it just all felt a little bit like everybody's trying it a bit much. And I was just like, I felt so horny being around people like trying really hard to like be sexy.
So fair.
It really turned me off.
Really?
I think I'd be more turned on at like I don't know. I was going to say like at church, but that's...
Because it's forbidden.
Yeah, exactly. Because there's something more hot about like knowing you can't do something rather than being somewhere where you can do it.
It's allowed and everyone's actually doing it. Also, I don't know. I just think I'd be a bit funny about the smell.
Yeah, I didn't really smell anything. But it felt honestly like I didn't love it. But my friends, I've got a friend who like loves sex parties, and she's always like, we need to go to one together. Like you need to go to one that's like a good one. She was like, you didn't go to a good one.
Yeah.
And I would so be up for it. I really want to have a threesome.
Do you?
Yeah. I've been thinking that's going to be on my list of things to do this year.
A boy, a girl, a girl, a girl, a boy, a boy.
Kind of either or any.
Really?
Yeah. What was I watching the other day? They were having threesome. Oh yeah, I was watching Girls. I just want to try it.
Yeah.
But like, I think my dream threesome would be like no one is in a relationship.
Well, of course. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
And also, because my thing is, it's like, how I wouldn't understand the whole way we're doing it.
I know.
Do you know?
Well, it's like where. And
when do you switch?
Yeah. And how does that work?
And do you say, shall we switch? Or like, I don't know. And what if one person finishes? I just think that's quite a lot. And you would have to be drunk, I think.
100%.
Yeah, you couldn't do that shit.
No, I'd want it to be really like organic as well. Like I want to be like on holiday on my own. And then like I meet a few people and we're like, let's just do it.
Let's just fucking have a
And I want it to be like and then maybe if it's bad, I never have to see any of you again. Like, I never want to do it with like a partner or a friend. Oh my God, would rather die.
Let me tell you something. If I had a threesome with my partner, the way I would be writing down the decibels of her moans with me versus the other person, I'd be like, so at
you wouldn't be involved. You'd just be like,
I'd be like, oh, you enjoyed that one a lot, didn't you?
That's the thing that like, because I was once in a relationship and it got like floated as like a thing, and I was like, I don't think we're in that kind of relationship.
Absolutely
where
not.
That's gonna go down well.
Absolutely not. God for fucking bid.
But I've also got like a gay best male friend, and like we've been best friends since we were like 12, and throughout our lives I've dated a lot of bisexual men who always want to have a threesome with me and my best friend, and I'm like, why do you think that we would want to do that? We're like brother and sister.
Yeah, it feels weird to see.
It's so weird. But the amount of men who have like tried to have threesomes with us, and then I'm like, out.
I always feel like with the job, if I'm changing, I always get naked in front of like my friend, like my makeup artist, blah blah. But if my friend was to see me naked in a sexual way, I don't think we could be friends again.
I don't think I could look them in the eye.
Yeah, I don't think they want to look me in the eye as well. They'd be like,
but it's like,
state of that.
Have you ever like walked in on like someone having sex and then it's like it takes a while you're really nodding at that, but like it really takes a while to like look at them
back
again.
To yeah. I think I'm a prude. And I think that's my issue.
But yeah, I definitely want to do that. I've visualized it. So
okay, well, I hope this happens for you in 2025.
Yeah, I'll let you
Please do. Just because I want to live through you.
Yeah.
And that's it really, because I don't have the mental health to do it for me. So
fair enough.
Do you have anything you'd like to promote while you're on here as well? What's coming up? What's
my podcast. You're going to be on my podcast soon, so everybody should listen to the second part of our conversation.
We're just going to start where we left off on here.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. We can just then talk about you at parties.
Yeah, well, yeah.
What is your social life like now? I should really be saving this for my podcast.
Well, yeah, you should save it. But
do you get drunk
on
I'm a Celeb? Do you get drunk?
Once they gave us like a full glass of wine, and because we hadn't eaten or anything for like 3 weeks, I was fucked off my tits. I fell over on the way to medical. I went in the Bush Telegraph. I was like, can we just have like one more, because honestly it hasn't even hit the spot. And they were like, we don't understand what you're saying, so it has hit the spot.
And did they air that?
No. And that was the day before I got evicted, so I got like voted off, a bit hungover, like, oh god, like going off that big bridge. I thought, I
always think like, oh, when I record a podcast, like I once got really drunk during a podcast episode, and I was like, it'll be really fun, like the episode will be amazing. It took me a day to send edit notes for that podcast. We ended up recording for 4 hours. We lost complete track of time.
Yep.
The guy filming it was like, guys, I have to go, it's like 8 p.m.
Yeah.
Can I leave?
That's the first year I did this podcast. I was
Were you getting drunk? Really?
Every episode. And most of them had to be deleted because the stuff that was said in there was horrific.
And also you can't use any of it. I kept like using people's full name.
Yeah.
And then we'd be like, oh, we can't use
Or you'd be
stuff
like
'cause it's
slagging someone off.
defamatory.
Yeah.
Like,
I'd be slagging people off in the industry, be like, it's the most
being
obvious
so
person
indiscreet
ever.
and then being like, oh, sorry, you're gonna have to beep that out. It's like, we're not beeping it out. It's not fucking like no one has time to beep out like 50 names.
It's exactly that. It's fucking awful.
I know. It's such a shame because I think as an idea it's quite good of like being like, oh, we're gonna get drunk, and it's like, no, that's not gonna
I think towards the end of our careers, maybe we can just do that.
Yeah, like drunk histories. I used to be obsessed with.
I mean, I'll just get drunk at yours anyway. But we'll just see how it pans out.
Yeah. Well, I love a dirty martini. It's my favourite drink.
Oh.
Do you drink dirty martini?
Is that with the olive in?
Yeah.
You are a sick bitch.
Yeah.
I tried one last year. And I honestly, at 2 sips, I was like, I lost my virginity at 15. Like, I was telling everyone shit that I should not have
Yeah,
said.
I love them.
It's insane. How many do you drink?
Like, I would drink about, I mean, at least like 5, no problem.
1, I was gone.
My best friend Jack makes this olive oil dirty martini, but I love salt and I don't like sweet stuff. So like that's my like.
Do you like a spicy marg?
I love a spicy marg.
I don't mind.
I love a
spicy
mezcal.
marg. I'll get the shits the day after that.
Oh really? Yeah.
Ring of
during.
fire. No. Well, I don't
good.
remember.
Yeah.
So it could happen. I don't know.
I love a spicy marg. I love wine.
Same, but sometimes it sends me a little bit rude.
Yeah.
Like if I've had too much, sometimes I'll just start an argument. I'm like, there was actually no need for that.
Yeah.
So maybe the dirty martinis will have to be my new drink.
I think that's so interesting is when I don't really think about what I'm like drunk, to be honest.
You shouldn't, because I think about it all the time.
Do you?
And send myself into a spiral.
Do you?
Yeah.
I don't really think about it.
And Ella doesn't drink, so she remembers all of it.
Wow. Oh, she doesn't drink?
Yeah, she can't. So it's like, well...
So she's just observing.
Yeah, she's like, do you remember what you said last night?
But
no.
that would probably make you drink less. Because also it's like, I would feel so self-conscious.
You would like
being really drunk around someone who's sober.
Sometimes I'll go out for like lunches or dinners with my manager and we'll go through like 5 bottles of wine and I'll come back like incoherent. And the next day she's like... Remember last night? And I'm like, I actually don't. And I'm too embarrassed for you to tell me.
Don't tell me.
So just don't tell me, yeah.
But that's good.
Well, yeah.
Me and one of my best friends, we got so fucked a few weeks ago and we were getting a cab home. And I remember this, but she doesn't. We got into the most horrific fight. Like, honestly, like some of the things we were saying to each other were unbelievable. And then the next day she didn't remember it, so I was like, I'm just not going to tell her. But I remembered like all these things that she'd said to me and that I'd said to her.
Oh my God.
Cab driver, like having to listen to it. It was awful.
Now, when you're drunk, you say the most mean shit.
It was awful.
People are like, sober thought's a drunk word. That is a fucking lie.
No way.
Because the stuff I say when I'm drunk, I'm like, did I say that?
Yeah, but I don't mean any of it.
Of course not.
It's just, it was so silly. It was all because she was eating a burger and it was dropping on the floor and I was like, you need to pick that up. Like, that's really rude.
No, with the sauce.
I was like, the poor man's gonna have to clean this. And then she was like, obviously I'm gonna fucking pick it up. Like, don't talk to me like that. And then it just exploded. But she has no recollection of it. Must be nice.
Still no recollection?
No. I just didn't tell her. I was like, do you remember we got in a fight? She's like, no. I was like, okay, cool. I'm just not gonna fill in the blanks for you.
For your mental health.
Yeah, because I don't want to remind you of the things that I said.
You're both guilty.
Because I don't really black out. I used to when I was younger. No, when I was younger, I used to a lot.
Really?
But I don't really anymore.
Oh, I don't remember anything ever.
Really?
Yeah, and that's what gives me anxiety.
That's why, yeah.
Yeah.
I would have anxiety if I couldn't remember stuff. But I feel like I used to black out all the time and it used to freak me out so much. So now I always know, like, I have a tiny part of my brain that's like, stop drinking now.
Right. I need that because this is what happens. I'll be actually at the verge of needing to go to A&E. That's how drunk I am. And in my mind, I'm like, I am so fucking sober. Like, this is so boring.
But would you
sober.
seem to other people really sober? Do you know how like those people...
I physically wouldn't be able to string a sentence together. And I'm like, I'm just so sober. And I'll order another 5 drinks.
Yeah.
It's awful.
Yeah.
But maybe that comes with age. I don't know.
I think it does. Like, not to be like, but when I was 25, I was blacking out every time I drank.
Okay, this is promising.
Yeah. And then I think like now because I used to say like such bad or not bad things, but I used to like tell people my business and then I'd wake up and I'd be like, why does fucking Billy No Mates from the street know about a breakup that I've just gone
Why
through?
does the
like,
Sun
I hate
have
that.
my whole life story
in
the Sunday print? Yeah, story of my life. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, so you just need to like, you know. And then after that, I was like, I need to just only get really fucked with people I know really well. And that's my thing. Yeah.
So what would your advice to save Grace be?
Advice to save Grace. Oh gosh. What would I say? Can I think about this?
Of course.
I actually heard, but this is so sincere, but I heard this really good quote. Like, I mean, I'm reading so many like books at the moment. Like for the first time, I read 2 books over Christmas, which was crazy.
Okay.
And there was one line which was, regrets are harder to live with than consequences, which I love thinking about that. So it's like, I'd rather live with the consequences of my behavior than always think what would happen if I'd done that.
Completely fair.
And then, I don't know, pee after sex, I guess.
That's completely fair.
Yeah.
That's very fair.
Also wear condoms if you are having sex with penises, but that's not advice for you.
And I guess like,
but like
if you're not,
but like wear condoms.
Be careful of thrush.
Yeah,
be careful of some lubes.
Oh my God, I've got a great piece of advice for thrush.
I'm ready. Oh, please.
Have you ever drunk live acidophilus?
I don't know what you just said.
Right, so it's like this thing. I once got thrush for 6 months because I put a Malteser in my vagina as like a fun bit with my boyfriend.
That's the opening line. Yeah. Yeah.
As a fun bit with my boyfriend at the time. Fanny farted it out. Anyway, I got thrush for so long because you should not put sugar anywhere near there. It's like, anyway, I did so much research. Like I once did an Instagram story, like, guys, I've got thrush, can't get rid of it. Like, anyone got advice? This one girl told me to put bicarbonate of soda on my vagina, which I then realised was a prank.
Okay,
yeah. But I didn't. I had to go to
burning
A&E.
your flaps
It
off,
was awful. It was so bad. Never been in so much pain in my whole life. But then I found this thing called live acidophilus, right? They should give me fucking money, the amount of PR I do for them. It's a live bacteria. You have to keep it in the fridge. It's live, right? It comes in powder form. It's disgusting.
Of course.
You have a cup of it, thrush goes.
Really?
Yeah.
I need that. I've got it right now because I used a strawberry lace flavoured lube.
Oh, never do that.
No.
Never do that. All of these like sugary lubes, it's thrush.
No,
like,
it's
you're just asking
awful.
to get thrush.
It's awful.
Yeah.
Like I'm walking around with like a limp.
Thrush is the worst. I said the other day I'd rather have tonsillitis because I had tonsillitis and they were like, do you want to go on antibiotics? Antibiotics always give me thrush. I'd rather have tonsillitis than thrush.
No, 100%.
It's awful.
And you're like walking about, I'm so sorry for the men in the room. You're walking about like no one in here knows that I have an itchy minge. Right now.
Yeah. I had to do my first driving test with thrush.
No.
And I was like, constantly like rearranging myself. Obviously I failed.
The driving instructor's like, you failed. You're like, I know I have thrush. Well, I'm going to go buy some of that.
So that's my advice. Live acidophilus. And then also I take probiotics with acidophilus in it every day.
Okay.
And that helps with thrush.
That's the best bit of advice I've ever been given, actually.
It's honestly the live acidophilus thing, because I always do Instagram stories about it, and then people message me like once a week, like, what was that thing? This boy once messaged me like, my girlfriend's got really bad thrush and I remember you once posted about this thing. What is it? I was like, that is so cute. Do you know what I do to have a boyfriend
that cares about your
random girl on Instagram like, my girlfriend's got thrush?
When you think he's cheating, he's actually messaging about your thrush.
He's messaging you about your thrush. Be grateful.
I enjoyed that. I think I've learned a lot.
That's good.
Make sure you go and listen to Late to the Party, especially the one that I'm on. Make sure you get your tickets for the Saving Grace Jungle Fever tour. Anything else you'd like to say?
No.
Cool. Live fast. Eat ass. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.